قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. استعيذ بالله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وآمنوا برسوله يؤتيكم كفلين من رحمته ويجعلهم بنور يمشون فيه وينشر لكم برحمته ويجعلهم نورا. What is that? Say the other. It's the end of Surah Hadid or Surah Qaf. Surah Qaf?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وآمنوا برسوله يؤتكم كفلين من رحمته ويجعل لكم نورا تمشون به ويغفر لكم والله غفور رحيم.
صدق الله العظيم. All you who believe, fear Allah, remember Allah, turn to Allah, run to Allah. How do you want to describe taqwallah? And believe in Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah will give you a double portion of His mercy and a light by which you can walk and forgive you. We put a light tonight on the iPad because it was too dark. Madad ya Sayyidi. Madad ya Sayyidi. Everyone is asking now a light to find their way. They made modern life so complicated and so contentious. People are lost, not knowing where to turn. Every side is fighting with the other side using the most subtle and sophisticated means of striking at the minds of the other group. If you listen or read or look into it, I wish Shaykh Abdul Haqq was here tonight, expert on that field. They're doing warfare on people's thinking. Each side believes they're 100% right, and the other side 100% shaitans, and they took that as a license to make every kind of strange attacks on each other. If you go on Facebook or YouTube, this is YouTube, you go anywhere and say anything, you don't even have to say anything. If you go and look up something, it's registered somewhere, and somebody will use it to try and catch your mind for something, for their purpose. You'll be registered with the people who looked up that. And they begin to send from every side. Allah says in Surah Maryam, you memorize that verse? Or? See, Azan.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم تر أنا أرسلنا الشياطين على الكافرين تؤزهم أزا.
Have you not seen how we sent the shayateens on against the unbelievers to incite them against each other? Azan, hating each other and fighting. And it's necessary to it became so what's another word for pervasive? I want to use the word pervasive, but I want a word everyone can understand it. It became so commonplace, or everything you do is engaged in this kind of propagandas and warfares, from advertising, from intelligence, from military, from politics, from this, from that. Even the people who it's their business are bewildered, not knowing how to find the way out of it. Shayateens. Allah said we set the shayateens. Once they left the belief, they opened the door for shayateens to come and play with their, Allah Shaykh used to say, Allah bless them, Shaykh Nazim, to play with our heads like a football. This is the situation now. Everyone's vulnerable to that. Everyone's vulnerable to that. Unless you have a light from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you can see to walk with. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله. Believe in Allah, turn to Allah, fear Allah, remember Allah, call on Allah, and وآمنوا برسوله, and believe in His Prophet. Allah will give you a double portion of His mercy. What was coming cursing on every side will come on you blessings instead. And He'll give you a light by which you can see. Prophet used to pray, Rabbi, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Rabbi arina haqqa haqqa warzuqna attiba wa arina batil batil warzuqna ijtinab. Let me to see truth as being true and falsehood as being false. Our job as believers, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, amanu. Oh, you who believe, believe. Use your belief power, he used to say. Belief power is not equal with other kinds of powers. Say, oh, it's all the same. No, it's not all the same. Take the one that take you out from the fire. Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, a hadith, Lana Shaykh used to recall it to us, that one of the signs of the last days, there'll be a fire burning from east to west. And people are writing, I'm seeing on the internet, oh, it means the Gulf War, it means the war in Yemen, or it means the war in Syria, it means, no, back several hundred years this war. No. Maulana Shaykh said, Awliya can see people are burning now. With a fire, you can't see it. Everyone's on fire. Everyone's on fire now, one kind or another. We're asking to put out that fire. How we can do? We have to be like the ant, the namlet. At the time of Sayyidina Ibrahim, he was calling people, even back then. Nimrod was calling people to dalal, to wrong ideas, saying he's God. And he hates Ibrahim, wants to make him to stop. He decided to make a huge bonfire, a huge fire. He cut down a whole forest. He had his soldiers cut it, the whole forest. Well, he used to say. He lit it into a blazing fire. It was so hot you couldn't even go near it. They made a catapult. They didn't have rockets and cannons in those days. They had catapult. They put Ibrahim and threw him into that fire. There's a story with Jibreel for that time. Leave it. Now the important one, one ant. Somewhere he heard the news. Sheikh Muhyiddin used to say, if someone says something, pretty soon everyone will know. Two people are speaking. There are unseen ones that spread it everywhere. Somebody spread the news to that ant. Ibrahim is in danger from the fire of Nimrod. That ant got himself up. He said, I have to put out that fire. He didn't stop to say, I'm only an ant. He took a mouthful of water. He's going to go from his ant hill, to wherever that fire is. No one knows how far. And I said, I'm going to extinguish the fire of Nimrod. We have to be like that ant. We're intending. All we have is our intentions. What can we do? We intend to put out the fire of Shaitan, burning everywhere. Shaitan wants to, they're saying now they want to do depopulation. Cut the population down. Shaitan wants to cut the population completely. Take away everyone. Take away humanity. We're asking to put that fire down. Even it's not in our hands. Even the time of Mahdi, the time of Jesus Christ, alayhi salam, on them. All right. What we have to do now, we don't know. Sayyidina Ali said, if you know the Karim Allahu Wajha, this is his birthday, his day is in this time. If you know the world is going to end tomorrow, if the news reached you, tomorrow is the last day for this world, and you were going to plant a tree today, plant the tree. Do the good deed. Do the good deed. So we're intending to put down the fires of Shaitan. And Allah said, believe. Ittaqullah, fear Allah, believe in Allah, call on Allah, and believe in Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah will give you double portion of mercy and a light which you can see truly. You can see true from false, a light by which you can walk. This we need. They had in Greek mythology, what was his name? Diogenes. I don't know what Turkish is. Diogenes is something. I would have another word for him. If I said my English word, they used to laugh. I said butternut squash one day for something they put on the table, and everyone was laughing. Turkish had another name. Diogenes. He was an ancient sage. He took a lamp and was going around the world looking for one honest person with that lamp. What's that lamp? Asking that lamp. Like the Asai of Musa alayhi salam. Qalahi Asai. So many uses. Atawakkau alayha wa hushu biha ala ghanami waliya fiha ma'aribu ukhra. He was using it, Sayyidina Musa, for so many things. The Diogenes had his lamp looking for an honest person. The light of true light. We're asking that light. Allah said, I give you that light. Fear me and believe in prophets, Allah said. I'll give you a way. We were talking in Juma yesterday. Somebody said to me, our research department in Montreal, he said, Tamiz, what's sifting? Tamiz, sifting. Sifting is necessary. There's so many informations out there coming at you. Might be designed to trick you, to pull you in, to mislead, to misguide, something. You have to sift it. We need a sifter also. I don't know which one was going around with a sifter. We need that light from Allah. Present, when you come to a situation, Ibn Habash, the Murid read of Ibn Arabi. He said, when you come to a moment of decision, pull on the reins of your horse. You're riding along, oh, stop and take your candle, your lamp, and put it into the darkness and wait. If it comes back lit, go ahead. He meant to refer it to Allah and His Prophet, and to your Shaykh. See it? Connect your heart with your Shaykh, with Grand Shaykh, with Prophet, and wait for the lights to show the true path. Istikhara. What's istikhara? This or that. Sometimes you have time to make wudu, pray 2 rakahs, and sleep on it. 1 night, 2 nights, 7 nights, 10 nights. Sometimes there's only a second. I was listening to one person. He said, nowadays between receiving the information and having to act, you have only nanoseconds now. It's coming. They had something in the intelligence of the army. Observe. Observe. Reflect. Something. The 4 stages of action. The last one was acting. Observe, evaluate, blah, 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 blah. There's no time now. No time. They're making drone airplanes now. No time for a human pilot to react. You can't say, oh, well, no. Half a thousandth of a second to make your choice. Therefore, we have to try to connect our hearts to central. So see, truly, consult your damir, your instrument. Everyone has a damir, or conscience. When information comes to you, how the Holy Quran says, when one fasiq brings you information, so many fasiqs now. And our ego also a fasiq, interpreting it. Check it out with those in authority. Check with your shaykh, check with prophets. If you can go to the library and check with hadith, okay, might be no time. Check with your damir. Check with your conscience. If the light of your conscience comes back lit, go ahead. If no, wait. If doubt, wait. Prophet said, leave what causes you doubt. The true one makes you satisfied and peaceful. Use it. Use it. Otherwise, if you leave those methods, if you leave Allah, you'll be subject to what Allah said. We sent the shayateens on the ones who left Allah. What's kafir? Kafir who turned away. Even somebody can say they're Muslim or Christian or Jewish. They turned away from Allah. They fall into the category of the ones shayateens are going to come on. If you turn from Him, turn from Allah. This is the month to try to make that connection stronger. For what? To go into seclusion. This is the month of Khalwat, first season in Naqshbandi. They used to go 40 days from the beginning of Rajab to 10th Shaban, or even to Laylatul Barat. For what? To make that connection stronger. To try to make a situation through your heart where you're more and more turned to Allah, as much as can be. Prophet never leaves. He said, I have one face with people, one face with my Lord. We're not prophets. To make it more and more and more. To be able quickly, follow al-Kahf, run to the cave, Allah will look after your matter. The Quran is full of allusions to this subject. Time of difficulty, time of trouble, time of uncertainty, time of decision, run to Him. Run to Allah. Run to prophets. Believe in prophet means run to prophets. It means run to awliya. They're the inheritors of prophets. Allah will give you double mercy and give you a light you can walk and forgive you. What do you want more? What do we want more than that? We're asking to make those words to come alive. Imam Ghazali, he wrote his famous book, Ihya Ulumuddin, making the knowledge of the deen, of the religion, to come alive. To take it off the shelf and make it to live. Living knowledge. Living knowledge. This is what we're asking. The Shaykh of Ibn Arabi, Allah bless him, Abu Madian, he says, what you're saying to me, you're giving me the beef jerky, like Woody's, the dried meat, and the dried fruit, dried dates and apricots. Where's the fresh stuff? I'm saying what Abu Madian, don't tell me what Abu Madian said. What do you say, O speaker? Make your hearts to live. May Allah grant us through these holy months to make our hearts to live. That's the purpose for ibadat and worship in these holy months is more strong. The divine help is more strong. The inayat is more strong. Inspiration is more strong. But you have to avail yourself of it. Use it. I'm saying to myself also, give some time, especially in the time between Asr and Maghrib, in the time between Maghrib and Isha, and then after midnight, anytime during the night, last third of the night, up to Fajr, and then all the way through up to Ishraq. Even any part of those times, try to, even 5 minutes, 10 minutes, set it aside to be with Allah, to be with Prophet, to be with your Shaykh. Leave everything, sit, and may lights come to your heart, to my heart. Fatiha. Ameen. Endless generosity. He gives something you say always. He said, my murid never did one thing I told him to do, but I'm still giving him. I didn't cut my help for maybe today. He's thinking maybe today he'll do better. If Shaykh can do that with his murids, we have to be like that with him. Fatiha. Ameen. أشهد أن لا إله